noise. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Okay, so everybody has their opinion, right? And everybody wants to know what led up to that situation. Let me get my coffee. I don't spill tea, I drink coffee. So look, I'm gonna give it to y'all. And I posted, if y'all go back and look, I posted all the text messages between Bishop Porter and I, all the text messages between Drew Sheard and I, because I was trying to handle it amicably, which I say in those text messages. I got 1.1 million views right now on Instagram, just off one clip. And I took all that down. Imagine if I would have left it up. It'd probably be at 5 million right now or more. But I took it down, and I wanted to talk with my brothers, man. I wanted to talk to Brandon Porter. I wanted to talk to Drew Sheard. I wanted to get this right. And I didn't want to make another mark on the Church of God in Christ. Well, now, they're going to have to make me the presiding bishop when I get done, because they do not know how to run a church, man. Look, I pastored 4 churches and never had a scandal. I should be the presiding bishop. I pastored 4 churches and never had malfeasance or financial issues. Like, I should be running COGIC, I promise you. The first thing you got to do, I ran security teams in LA with Samoans, and I ran with Tongans. My business partner is Kevin Kim. We had the Staples Center at one time. I wasn't with him when he had the Staples Center, but after the fact, I've done security. I'm an Army dog, man. I know. So here's what you got to do, and I tell all my guys this. You have to de-escalate. You don't be the aggressor. You got to handle it. And you saw how aggressive they were being with me. Now, everybody's in an uproar because I was saying, this guy will never preach in the convocation, this guy will never preach in the convocation. But let's really break it down. First of all, you don't know what they were saying to me before I went on camera. You're washed up and da-da-da. So that initiated it. Number 2, it is the truth, and I'm getting it on camera because I wanted to show you guys the fallacy of the church. And I love the church. I love the Church of God in Christ. Let me say this, man. The people of COGIC, most of the people online are showing me so much love. Man, I didn't know y'all still love me, man. And that's what happens when you go through something traumatic like I did with the false arrest in 2024. You just start thinking the whole world is against you, man. You almost become like paranoid about it. But I just showing up at the convocation, I realized, man, they're giving me love. Like, everybody was giving me love. I'm sure they were talking in the back. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I appreciate all the love and support. I mean, I know people want to go to the past, so let's talk about it. You know, I know they want to. I did a video on this. When DJ Senegal and these guys I don't know, and DJ Senegal ain't nobody, but I was supposed to be doing an interview when I was in Puerto Rico, and I understand I had been beaten by the police 3 times. Well, beaten once in handcuffs, and the second 2 times I beat them because cops can't fight. All of them, 6 at one time, twice, 7 one of the times. Once I was in handcuffs. Wait till that video comes out. I'm a dog. What can I say? If you kick me in the corner, I'm going to come out fighting, man. That's it. I'm not one of these soft church dudes. Yes, sir, Bishop. Yes. No, you violated, man. So when I got assaulted, it traumatized me. Think about it. For 31 years, y'all didn't even know I was in the Army. I never told anybody. My kids didn't know anything about my mama. I was showing her all my awards and my medals. I gave them to her. And she was like, Shane, I had no idea. I said, I know. I kept it from you guys because what I saw in combat, was bad, but I think I seen worse in the church. I'm serious. And so here I am. I'm talking to a guy named Carlton. Can't think of his name. But anyway, he turned on me. Look, I thought he was being my friend. He said, man, go. I didn't know DJ Senegal was going to be on there. I would have never done the show. He said, go on and tell your story about what happened to you. Man, when I got on there, all they wanted to do is go at me. I'm already traumatized. And they took advantage of that. My own daughter was on my other phone like, Daddy, just get offline with him, Daddy. Don't let him do you like this, Daddy. Don't let the world see you like this, Daddy. She was only 14. And I did. I got off. And they kept trying to get me back on because they want salacious material. They want to see a man broken and wounded and see what they can pull out of him. Well, you pull the dog out. So, I mean, do you know how many people call me NIGGA on a daily basis? I was just called that by 4 different preachers yesterday in a loving manner. Somebody just sent me a message on Facebook because they know what's going on and what's being said. And they were like, I love you, NIGGA. And these are black people. So I hear this word all day, every day. I'm called this word all day, every day. That's what y'all are not taking into consideration. So it takes a lot of self-discipline to not say that word when that's all you're hearing. Like in Birmingham, the new thing, well, it's not new, but what they say here is, okay, that's what's up, bit. Man, I was down here. I was like, what's up, bit? How's it going, bit? Because the lingo, association breeds assimilation. So for me, I always safeguarded against that word because I knew I may be cool with these guys saying it, but other people may be sensitive about it. And you can use the word, but I can't use the word. Got it. I don't want to use the word. But I was traumatized, and this man was challenging me, calling me out of my name, and he's gay as a $3 bill, man. I'm not going to sit up here and take that. And then I'm already traumatized. So if y'all want to hold me accountable for that one moment over 31 years of ministry and 50 years on this planet, you want to hold that over my head, go ahead. Just know you need to understand what had happened to me that day. And the fact that I was in Puerto Rico, see, they was in their mama's basement doing the live. I was on the beach in Puerto Rico. So the fact that I made it to Puerto Rico was a miracle. And it took God and my training to get me out of that situation, and I escaped. Now, all that is clear. I got one charge from that. Literally, it was the original charge was public intoxication, but when they sent me to the hospital after they assaulted me and beat me the first time, they drew my blood. So I kept telling them, if I'm drunk, do a breathalyzer. Oh, by the way, COGIC's trying to say I was drunk. Man, people that know me know I don't drink that much. Occasionally, but I'm not really a drinker. I don't even, it's not, it used to be, but it's not really my thing. I was not drunk, man. You think I'm going to come up in the convocation drunk? I would have kept my butt at home. I'm not controlled by alcohol. A drunk does that. An alcoholic would come to church drunk. I'm not an alcoholic, man. I don't need alcohol. I don't need it. In fact, I don't even enjoy it. I don't like really the way it makes me feel. But every once in a while, I like to socialize and have a mimosa at brunch, or maybe a beer every once in a while, or something. So I already dealt with wine, was escorted out. I need to put those videos on TikTok. I'm sorry, I only got one up over there, but it's going stupid. I'm gonna put them all up. So let's talk about it. I just posted every text message between Brandon and I, every text message between Drew and I. And somebody said that, why is he saying Brandon and Drew? That's disrespectful. No, it's not. They call me Shane. Look, I got a clip up of Bishop Porter when I came to his church Sunday. This is how this all started. I was not coming to the convocation. I was invited. I was first invited before it started to hear Bishop Drew Shear preach. My friend, Drew, preach for Brandon Porter, who is my big brother, man. Still is. I even told him, I love you, man. But y'all just didn't handle it right. I love Drew Shear, man. They're honestly, man, they're solid guys. Now, they political? Yes. Have they been, I wouldn't say corrupted, but, when you're in that top leadership place, you deal with stuff that the sheep don't understand. And sometimes you have to make moves to protect the sheep, and they can't quite understand it because they don't see as far as the leader. And I'm saying this truthfully, that Brandon Porter's a great leader, man. He's a great leader. And Bishop Drew Shear, I believe, is a great leader. I've preached for these guys for years. I respect them, but they didn't handle this situation right. They should have got up and done a public apology the night they brought me back into the service after I was falsely arrested by those goons. They brought me right back in. Brandon had to come down, get me out of the cop car. They had slammed me against the cop car, handcuffed me in front of all the saints, in front of the convention center. Somebody videoed it too. I pray somebody sends me that video. Somebody was videoing the whole thing. And, they took my phone, but I got it up until they put me in cuffs. Then they put me in the back of the car, left me in there with no air conditioning for about 40 minutes. I'm trying to get them to turn the air on. Robbie Warren is out there telling me to calm down. I'm not upset. I was never upset through the whole process. You could see that. I was having an anxiety attack because I'm in handcuffs. So when you put a guy with anxiety and PTSD in handcuffs and all that, he starts trying to figure out how to get out of this situation, and it kicks all that in. So I was starting to hyperventilate. I saw all the signs. I'm very aware of my condition. And Robbie Warren's telling me to calm down, but I wasn't like upset. I was having a panic attack. And then finally the cop came and turned the air on, but it took him like 45 minutes. So, and I'm sitting in there like this, handcuffed, and I'm 215 pounds of solid muscle. So, you know, I'm up in that joker. They had to rework. I have very big legs, very big calves. They had to tell me how to get in the car. I tried to get in regular. It's like, nah, with the way you're built, you're going to go butt first. Man, anyway, Brandon Porter came out the service, came down there and got me out of the car. He was so pissed at those security guys. He told me I was clear. But you can see from the text message that I posted, I kept telling him, Bishop, I know you outrank these guys, but they got it out for me, man. I need security. I need a seat. I need certain. He said, okay, and he never called me. And then he was like, come on, Shane. So I went to church. I was so happy. I was FaceTiming with my kids, like, I'm going back to church, y'all. Put my suit on. And now you see what happened. Or it was just a misunderstanding, lack of communication. Yeah, and your misunderstanding, lack of communication got me falsely arrested, falsely detained, assaulted, injured. They re-injured an injury that the cops did before, because when you put me in handcuffs, it messes with my lower quadrants of my clavicles. And then, you know what I'm saying? If they'd have caught me 2 years ago, whoever just did that comment, I promise you it would have went different, because I was way more traumatized than I am now. So I'm in these handcuffs, right? And Brandon Porter makes him take me out my handcuffs in front of everybody. Make the cop put my jacket on me. Man, I tightened up, buttoned that bad boy up. I said, let's go to church. I walked back in with Brandon Porter, his adjutant, his security team, General Board Protection, and all them fools that arrested me had to walk with us, marching us back in. And that lieutenant, I should have recorded that. He was apologizing all over himself, and I never said a word to him. I just walked with Brandon and never said a word, because if I said something to him, it was going to get stupid. And he's like, oh, man, I didn't know. I said, I kept telling you, man, talk to Brandon Porter. And then they're saying, well, I didn't have phone service in there. Well, take your butt up in the pulpit and ask him, bro. That's what I said. Go ask Brandon Porter, and we won't have this problem. It's documented on the video. Now he want to apologize. Oh, he mad at me. Now, of course I'm mad at you. Man, why wouldn't I be mad at you? What'd you just do to me? Then he stuck his hand out and apologized. I shook his hand, but I didn't say nothing to him. And I only shook his hand because everybody was watching, and I was with the general board member. I did it as a respect. Also, when I'm talking to all them guys about they never preached before and all that, you don't know what they said to me before that. You're washed up and you ain't nothing and you're a clown. That's why I called them out like that. And then if you notice, at the end of that recording, once we step out of the convention hall where it's loud, I said, okay, I'm going to calm all this energy down, and I went off. Because I didn't want the saints to hear all that. And I didn't go back on live until I felt like I needed it for my protection. And then you saw us going down the escalator, and the dude pushing me in the back, man, and saying, I grazed against you, man. And when I busted him, he was like, yeah, right. So now they're saying that I got in Bishop Drew Shear's face. Okay, the only time I saw Drew Shear the entire convocation, unless he was standing on the platform, the only time I was in his actual face or presence was at Brandon Porter's church that Sunday morning, in the back of his office. And I got a video of me in the office. We only spoke. We shook hands, said, how you doing, brother? And that was it. He got in the car. Him and Brandon were going to take a picture. And Brandon said, I'm in clergy attire. He's dressed down. Let's not take the picture. And then Bishop walked out. And then I shook hands with Bishop Porter, and I left. And then they asked me to come back to the service. So there you go. And then all this happened, man. So now they're saying I was in Bishop Drew Shear's face. What? When? That would be international news if that happened. Then they said I went to Mason. I'm going to post a video of me at Mason Temple. They said I was walking around Mason Temple asking for money. There was only about 30 people in there when I was in there. Then I went and stood against the wall and called an Uber because the service was trash. The men's service was, y'all do what y'all want to do, but dueling saxophones, how does that appeal to men? We're going to have dueling saxophones tomorrow at the men's meeting. No, what we should be talking about is how to be a real man, how to have integrity, how to protect our communities, and how to stand up and stop letting, gay people and homosexuals and all these people try to set the narrative of what a man is. But instead, y'all think dueling saxophones is a great thing for a men's meeting. Man, y'all need to talk to Bishop T.D. Jakes. He know how to set a conference together. It's the most ridiculous. So I left. I called my Uber. I was standing in the back. And guess what? There was about 10 people standing in the back. And the usher, he don't say nothing to them. He comes to me. You're going to have to get off this wall. I said, man, are you serious? I said, you have no idea what just happened to me last night. I don't care what happened to you. One thing I know, you're going to have to get off this wall. I said, you know what? You got it, man. And I walked outside. When I got outside, people were taking pictures with me, showing me love. I was seeing all my friends, Zach Hayslip, all these guys, man. And then I got my Uber and came back to the convention center. That's it. Then they said I was drunk. Oh, my God. Then what else they say? Soliciting money at Mason Temple. They wasn't no money in Mason Temple. If I was going to go try to get some money, I'm not going to go to Men's Day at Mason Temple. You ain't getting no money out of that, Chief. You think them dudes going to give me some money, man? Get out of here, man. That's ridiculous. I paid my own way. I was in Memphis 6 days before the convocation came, and I paid my own way. And it's well documented. So I didn't even know the convocation was going on. So the point is, I am the man who preached twice in the International Holy Convocation. And that one, the last one in Memphis and the first one in St. Louis, the first time they did that, 2009, 2010. And I'm also was arrested and banned from the same meeting that I preached in. How crazy is that? And I was an invited guest by Bishop Brandon Porter. Who would have known, man? So, you guys can form all these opinions and all this stuff. I did a live already on this, and I explained everything. This started with Talbert Swan. So when I was traumatized that time, I was in that it took me, I really just came out of that. Maybe about 6 months ago. Yeah, I talked to Bishop Porter. I posted the text messages. Look at the text message. You got to be on Instagram. I'll text them here. I'll put them here too. Yeah, of course. I was trying to handle this amicably. They want to sweep it under the rug, and we ain't doing that, man. That's something we're not doing.